Happy Valley. I'm back at you with yet another review. Now, this is a line that I actually reviewed before, and I didn't really go that in depth with the review. It was more or less kind of like a quick thing, and I'll be honest, I really didn't give enough credit where it needed to be put because I didn't take enough time with the specific review. At the time when I did this review, it was when I first started reviewing things, and as I've gotten deeper and deeper into doing different things on social media and YouTube, I've learned from my kind of mistakes and errors. So we'll start out with that little ramble to let you know where this is coming from. This line is Smiley, and they are from out in Southern California. I'll put up their contact information and how you guys can get a hold of this stuff. But Smiley is one of the first liquids that I reviewed, like I said, when I started to do reviews and started to kind of like get into the vape game, if you will. With all that said and out of the way, I'm going to go ahead and start this review. The first thing I want to say is that this liquid, this line, is interesting because it is mixable. So you can take one flavor and you can mix it with another flavor, and you can get different effects with different ratios just by dropping different amounts on your coils. So you have a base of a few different flavors that you can choose from, and you can kind of like broaden your horizon. So enough rambling, and let's get on with the vaping here, right? So the first, and this is my fiance's favorite out of the line, is Jolly Raspberry, and it is one of my favorites. It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. If you want a flavor that tastes exactly like a blue Jolly Rancher, this is it. It is freaking the shit. Honestly, I'll swear in my review video. Take it up to a next level, right? It is just awesome. Amazing stuff. So, start out with the Jolly Raspberry. And I have been in contact with Stephen James, the vice president. I talked to him a little bit about the liquid, and he recommends running his liquids on hot coils. So those hot builds, those super sub-ohm builds, stuff like that, these liquids are really going to shine. And when I first did this review for Smiley, I ran it at a 0.5 ohm microcoil build, I believe, and it was just it was nothing really in depth, and that was before I really started to really get into building hardcore. I mean, I've been building for a long time, but I never really took it to the next level. So with that little bit of knowledge under my belt, I threw in some Claptons, and I took Steve's advice, and I had a little bit of one of his Psycho X flavors, and it was actually the Jealousy, and I guess apparently that's his favorite flavor. But I took his advice and I tried it on hot coils, and I was blown away. Just felt like an idiot. I felt like eating my words. So, Jolly Raspberry. That gives you a little story behind it. Man, oh man. Like I said, if you like Jolly Rancher candy, this is the flavor you're looking for. It's definitely heavy on the candy. On the inhale, you're met right away with raspberry, candied raspberry. The candy aspect of it kind of carries through to the exhale. It's just really, really, really intense. Look at that, I'm blowing vape in my drink. Really, really, really good flavor. Love the Jolly Raspberry. So, that's Jolly Raspberry. Next is apple pie. And this stuff is, when I first vaped it, it reminded me of just eating a big piece of, like, apple pie. Like, from, I don't know, I want to say Perkins. It just reminded me of eating a freaking warm, gooey slice of apple pie. Especially on the hot coils. That is where I want to put emphasis on it. This stuff shines, just bursts with flavor on hot coils. And, I mean, if you watch my first review video, I'm a very honest type of individual. I don't beat around the bush about, different things. And, I mean, you could kind of tell, like, it was the, my reaction to some stuff, I just wasn't really that impressed. But I didn't give it enough of a chance, if you will. So, this is apple pie. Ooh, man. Right off the bat, it's, I would say, like a green Granny Smith apple. Baked. It got like a caramelized taste in there. Cinnamon in there, but not a heavy cinnamon. Not an overdone cinnamon. It's there. You can taste it on the inhale and on the exhale. On the exhale is when I get kind of the crust aspect of it. More like a bakery, kind of doughy, flaky kind of crust. Apple pie crust. It tastes like a bona fide piece of freaking apple pie. And it's awesome. Just like Jolly Raspberry. I mean, when I first started vaping, I wish there were flavors like this. The technology is just in e-juice. I mean, you have your devices and all that jazz, but just in e-juice, the technology is just in 1 year has jumped and expanded so much. Apple pie. Okay, next up, one of my personal favorites. I have vaped the living, ever-loving crap out of this, and this was one of the flavors that didn't really tickle my fancy, if you will, whenever I first tried it. And once again, hot coils, baby. It's where this stuff's at. And it is amazing. I tend to use the word amazing a lot. It's one of my favorite words of choice. So, put a little bit of strawberry burst. One thing I do want to mention. I like the idea of going back to basics with these flavors. Going back to simple. Complex is good if it's done right. But sometimes, you need something simple in your life, if you will. And it's nice to know that there's a line out there that's simple. But it doesn't mean it's not complex. At the same time, you're vaping flavors that are deep and rich and really, really, really stand out on hot builds. And it's just blowing my mind. I blew through a 15 ml of this in 2 days. Easy. Strawberry burst right here. This stuff, oh God. Woo, woo. And just you guys can see. Try to get it in there. It's really hard to see. This is an old set of coils, guys. This is a set of 26 gauge fused Claptons with 32 gauge Clapton wrap. And I have been running this same build in my Mutation X for almost, well, I posted it up on the page. So, from my memory, maybe about 3 weeks. 3 weeks, 2.5, maybe 3 weeks that I've had this build in here. I'm loving it. I mean, I've cleaned it, burned, dry burned it and whatnot, but it's just phenomenal. So yeah, some more Strawberry Burst. Hopefully I don't set my fire alarm off this time, like I did for one of my reviews. That was just crazy. So yeah, that's Strawberry Burst. One of my personal favorites. Next up is Mr. Stephen James' personal favorite, Jealousy. And this is a flavor that I just wasn't sure about when I first started it. I tried it when I first started vaping it. Again, I'm eating my words pretty much, and it's phenomenal, just awesome. What the Jealousy is it's their Psycho X line, and it is a green Granny Smith apple with a warm caramel, and boy, is it perfectly blended, perfectly balanced. Drip a little bit there on my coils, and it's awesome. I can't complain about any of these flavors, honestly. Every single one, it's like engineered to satisfy. It's like they sat back and thought about what people want to taste, definitely have a lot of input put into it. You can tell it's a well thought out thing. They're very pure liquids. They're very, very, very clean burning. They burn off the wicks completely clean. Just like those big competitors out there. And like I said, it's simple. But it's complex at the same time. Each flavor has something different to offer, something different to bring to the table. So, on the inhale with Jealousy, what I get is caramel. Caramel hits me first, and then the exhale, that's where the apple, the green apple really shines. Green apple's kind of I don't want to say Jolly Rancherish, but it's like a candy kind of green apple. So if I were to rate these, from my most favorite to least favorite so far, I would rate the Jolly Raspberry as being first in line. The second being the Apple Pie. And the third being the Strawberry Burst. But see, at the same time, it's like, this is a hard freaking pick for me, man. They're all really good flavors, so it's hard to pick like a favorite. My least favorite out of what I've gone through so far would probably be the Jealousy. And that's just because I'm not really a fan of like caramely vapes, but it's still good. Like it still hits home base. Like even if you don't like it, it's not like a non-pleasurable experience, you know? So next up is Vanilla Dream. Vanilla Dream is a combination of different vanilla flavors. To me, it's reminiscent of a custard, but it's a custard that's done really, really well. The smell of it, because I'm careful about custards. I mean, there's not really any sort of acetone smell or diacetyl, anything like that. So, I mean, that's when I'm vaping a custard or I go to buy a custard, I want to smell it, and that's what I'm trying to smell. I'm looking for any sort of acetone smell or acetone, if you pronounce it that way, or diacetyl, and I don't get that from this. So that it kind of threw me for a loop. It's really, really, really creamy. Creamy. Vanilla and cream. Creamy vanilla. Custard. That's what my opinion is. I mean, that's what I get. Anyways, it's like a creamy vanilla custard. I started bringing drinks up with me now, so I'm not all dry and parched out. Because when you start talking these reviews and stuff, your mouth gets quite dry. So I try to stay hydrated. Excuse my horse trough drinking habits, but I'm a thirsty guy. Yeah. So that is Vanilla Dream. Like I said, I get a custard. You may get something different, but I get custard. So this next flavor is my bona fide favorite out of anything that I've tried from Smiley. I've burned through 2 bottles of this stuff, and this is my next to last, and it is it's something, man. It is a strawberries and cream to freaking die for, and it is my favorite. And I've kind of like put the halt on the stuff. I vape myself sick from vaping too much of this, so ever since then I kind of try to just put like a halt on this flavor. It's like, okay, Michael, enough is enough. You need to take it easy. So that was a couple days ago. So I'm just kind of letting it sit. It's the first time I vaped it in a couple days. Hopefully I don't get on another like binge kick tonight. So here we go, strawberry burst. Woo. Oh man, it's like on the inhale, it's fresh, tart strawberry, just like the strawberry burst. The Drama Queen is just like the strawberry burst as far as like the tartness of the strawberry being there. And it just perfectly dances and blends with the cream on the exhale. And that's where it gets me, is when I exhale this stuff, it is just like doing like a freaking Irish jig on my palate. And that is what turns me on so much to the Drama Queen. It is my favorite flavor. I could vape it all day, every day. It is an all-day vape for me, and I am growing to freaking love it even more. The more I vape it. It's freaking awesome. Just bona fide. Bona fide, bona fide, bona fide. That's a new word I've been using a lot. Real. So, that is the Drama Queen. Okay, and I'm going to vape this last flavor, which is my least favorite. I never liked watermelon Jolly Ranchers very much. And it's just doesn't do it for me. So, but I'm not a fan of watermelon anything. I don't like anything watermelon except a real watermelon. It's just me though. You might love it. That's why this beautiful art of vaping is, like Mr. Phil Busardo says, very subjective. So, with that in mind, don't take my opinion too much to heart, because vaping is very, very, very subjective and very, 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 very varied. And just because I say I don't like a flavor or I disagree with a flavor doesn't mean that you shouldn't go out and give something a shot. So, try to stay very open-minded, but I'll give you the flavor profile and what it does for me. So, if I were to vape anything watermelon, which we've already clarified that I don't really like, I would vape Smiley. Honestly. It's a clean tasting watermelon. I've had other watermelon vapes, and it just doesn't do anything for me. I find no joy in watermelon flavored e-juice. It brings me no joy. But this stuff, it's tart, it's tasty, it's candied. It tastes exactly like a watermelon Jolly Rancher, which I don't like. But it's good. For being something that I don't like very much, I'm a hard one to push over. I'm a hard one to, win over. I'm like a walking bullshit detector, I guess, in some cases. In other cases, not so much so. As some of you saw, I can be very, very over-trusting. But let's not get all sentimental and shit here. It's not bad. Tart candy, Jolly watermelon. So that is Smiley-e-liquid. That's my opinion on it. That's my take. That's my redo. I want to just read you some suggested recipes that the boys over at Smiley-e-liquid have come up with. Like I did say at the beginning of the review, it is mixable. I have you here for almost 25 minutes, so I'm not going to go into that. But I will read you some of the blends, and that's another cool thing you can do about it, is you can mix it up. So it opens a whole new door of different flavors you can create. So you can create your own custom flavors, and they'd like to see your input. So they ask you to send the flavors, flavor combos in. And show it to them, and that alone in itself is cool, because they're asking for customer input, and it just makes kind of like a warm, heartfelt feeling, in my opinion. But anyway, yeah, so here you go. So this is Joe's blend. It's 50% 5 drops of Strawberry Burst. It's 30% 3 drops of Jolly Watermelon. 20% 2 drops of Vanilla Dream. Okay. Then we have Nate's favorite. That's 70% 7 drops of Jolly Raspberry, 30% 3 drops of Jolly Apple. It sounds like it'd be a pretty good combination. I tried this combination, Brandon's choice. It is 7 drops of Jolly Watermelon with 3 drops of Jolly Apple. So what I got from that was like a cotton candy, believe it or not. And unfortunately, I don't have the Jolly Apple here. I got the apple pie. But the Jolly Apple we are going to be sending that out on Monday. So I did get a chance to try it previously, and it's a good apple Jolly Rancher apple vape, and that's definitely a good one. I would suggest if you like your apple vapes. And then we have Megan's Juice, which is 6 drops, 60% Vanilla Dream, and 4 drops or 40% of Jolly Raspberry. And then we have Steve's Mix, which is Stephen James' mix, the Vice President. That's 5 drops of 50% Jolly Watermelon, 2 drops of Jolly Raspberry, 2 drops of Jolly Apple, and 1 drop of Strawberry Burst. So that was a little bit more complex. And I did try that one, and it's an interesting one. So that's I don't even really know where to begin with that flavor. There's all kinds of things going on with it. So definitely that's another perk that you can check out. So that's it. That's Smiley-e-liquid. Awesome line. You definitely want to check it out. They do wholesale pricing. And like I said, I'll put up the contact information so you can get a hold of them, and I'm sure they'd be happy to talk to you. So, I will let you guys go with the cloud, and thank you for watching. We appreciate your continued support, Happy Valley. Thank you so much. I can't put it in words how grateful we are, and I just want to say thankful. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. So I'll let you guys go with the cloud, and stay safe. Stay happy, and as always, stay cloudy. Bye, guys.